Let's finish this. Welcome to the final chapter of the ASA. That is the final recap video for the 3 seasons we've already played out, this the climax of our best season yet. In fact, this video will show you why I gave Season 3 such high praise to begin with. We left off with the All-Star break, Team MRC yet again dismantling Team BFC in the most whimsical and low-stakes game of the season. For the remainder of this ride, however, we will not have that kind of room for relaxation. Since there's so much ground to cover, I might be a tiny bit less detailed in some of these games than I was earlier, but I won't be skipping anything of note. Now, of course, I have no trades or anything to talk about, so I'll just assume you've been looking at the standings I put on the screen and launch into the rest of this thing. In seasons past, Week 5 was the proper finale. With the addition of Rivalry Week this season, it got bumped up to the conference finale. To get us started, it'll be the rookies looking to outrun the rising elimination line against the only team already below it. Surprisingly, it was the Knights to threaten first, putting their first 2 on base. They have starred Koopa the Killer
Koopa the Killer
into the highest on-base percentage in the league. They might score a run here.
Koopa the Killer is a filler.
Just kidding, I lied.
He's an anime-only character.
With Bowser taking the opportunity to slap with 2 base runners, Y-Guy and I began to suspect that this game was just an ASA filler episode. We theorized that it might be the coach arc, but a quick double play broke that up pretty quick. With the first non-filler at-bat of the game, Greybones lost his hold on the #1 batting average in the league to Red Pianta with a blundered slap. With that presumably marking the end of the notable Knights achievements in this game, BDB drew first blood with a 2-run dinger, followed closely behind by Boomerang Bro tacking on another. Well, I suppose Koopa the Killer brought 1 run in, but surely they didn't have anything left in the tank. Star hit, Para. Now is the time. That's decent as well. So, fun fact, I'm pretty sure Green Para now leads the Knights in RBI. With the game suddenly tied, you'd think commentary would be engaged in tracking which team would manage to break free. Instead, since it's Wyatt and I, you get things like this.
I'm gonna offer you a little challenge.
Okay.
Would you rather face 3 coconut crab-sized Mike Tysons or 1 Mike Tyson-sized coconut crab?
Definitely the coconut crab-sized Mike Tysons.
Really?
Absolutely.
Could I get an in-depth explanation?
So, they're coconut crab size, right? So they're gonna hit me and it's gonna hurt, but they're not gonna be able to reach my head. So they can't really do all that much damage, and I can just kind of kick them. But if there's one man-sized crab, that no, that's just an apex predator. I just lose.
Yeah.
But they do a little more damage. I don't know. I'd still take the I mean, I'm not saying it'd be easy to beat the Mike Tysons, but it'd definitely be easier than beating a Mike Tyson-sized crab.
The
Mike
3 Tysons.
The little Tysons. Also, by the way, the Knights are about to take the lead.
Uh-oh. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
We didn't miss too much either, since the top of the 7th somehow saw the exact same score. If the Knights could break through, they might actually pull it off. Oh no! No!
Uh-oh.
A base hit takes the lead!
Oh no.
He's 1 for 3 on this game, but still, they have the lead.
Wow.
The Knights are in the lead! Okay. Oh no. There's no way. There's no way, right?
Oh no.
Come on. Come on.
It's useless.
Good. Good. Decent start. Unbiased comms, by the way.
He can't gain anything from it.
He can only lose. Oh wait, okay, no, they're chilling.
That's
that was
crazy.
a beautiful hit. Why does Bowser's jaw just hang open after he watches a pitch? Okay, wait, that's the game. That's the game.
Oh.
Wait. Okay, no, not a save in time.
GG.
Bowser decided that he was sick of letting the filler arc hold him down. The Knights' best effort yet, still spoiled by a roster simply more talented than their own. With only 2 games left to play, would they manage to snag just 1? Welcome to Mario Stadium. It's night time. Ah. Welcome back to the main story, by the way, for anyone who watched the previous game, the filler arc. It was about as smooth of a start as you could ask from the Muscles' first 3, all reaching to set up the death lineup. What happened here could determine the tone of the game to follow.
Strikeout! I was very wrong. I was so wrong.
He's so lame. That's gonna score. That's gonna score 3. Nope. Never mind. Honestly, if you can get out of here with only 4 runs scored, that'll be better than it could have been, and you will get out of here with 4 runs scored.
Willie Yu is taking his sweet time.
Already trailing by 4 runs, the Bows needed a big answer. They avoided hitting toward Willow, but Critter on the other side wasn't a much better option, and that answer would have to wait. By the time they had another chance, though, they'd given up another RBI to Yellow Madge, meaning they were already out of Grandy range. Another silent inning, and the Muscles were looking to be firmly in control. That's great pitching to K-Rule, though. You're only giving up 1 run off of a K-Rule hit, which is better than it could have been. Wait, are they getting him?
Oh,
they got him.
They get credit? Oh. Yeah.
They were too fast. They gave him space to line up the close play. Even though the Bows finally scored 2 with the help of Dixie and Flenzy in the third to make up some of that lost territory, Wario nullified both with ease to maintain that 6-run lead into the mid-game. Time was running out for the Bows. Just like in previous games, though, the Boos and Slap City combined for 4 straight hits when they needed it most, scoring 1 and loading the bases for Blitter.
Beanball!
No way!
Oh,
no way!
I think that's a grand slam. I think that's a grand slam! That's a grand slam!
Blitter is back, baby! For the first time in this game, a mere 1 run separated the 2 teams. That statement also applied to the top of the 7th, though each team had tacked on an additional 2 for a score of 10-9. The Muscles' attempt to run away with it began with Yellow Madge out and Willow on, giving the Death lineup an opportunity to juice up that win probability. At least in terms of pitching, this one's rocking it out to you, and he's still there.
That defense by you is the only thing keeping them on this team.
So rock solid. Alright. You can't let Critter, you cannot let Critter crush one. That stays in? No, but they're gonna get there. Dixie's gotta run.
Dixie, you gotta run for it. You can't just hobble over there. Okay, well, it's right there. Fine.
Blue Toad. No, no, no. Oh, yes, yes, yes. No chem out there. Tie game.
Oh my god!
Blue Toad. Blitter has a chance to walk it off. Remember, there's no chem out there.
Uh-huh.
If Blitter pulls this one, the game is over. If Blitter pulls this one, the game is over.
Rare home run.
He pulled it. It stays in.
Oh.
That's what he normally does. So it's been like we've been waiting to see that happen. But
We could go to extras.
we probably will at this rate.
Well, I don't know. Dixie home run incoming. Yep, that's a Dixie home run right there.
Well, that's why I'm saying Dixie can get around now. Wait, no way, that's game. A walk-off from Flenzy.
Not you, a Flenzy walk-off home run.
Wyatt, dude. Yeah, he actually just burst into the recording studio. We actually have a GM conference room, and then there's like a recording studio off to the side. Wyatt just like broke in from the conference room. How do they keep getting away with this? Another of the great comebacks in League history, and it always seems to be Y-Guys group orchestrating them. Speaking of the greatest in League history, though, let's turn our attention to what's probably become the most famous rivalry in the League, despite not even technically being included in Rivalry Week. Get ready for round 2 of the Battle of the Balls, this the Spitballs' chance for revenge after the Fireballs' 1-run victory back in Week 1. The offenses were hardly flashy in the first, Spectro's squad going scoreless while Murphy's went 1 for 3 to open things up. Unsurprisingly, the current batting average leader in RP did manage to bring Toadette home for 1 run, but that stood as the only score from either side for some time. The Spitballs finally started to piece things together all the way in the 4th, with Walu, Darkbones, and Leo all loading the bases clean of any outs. She is laying it on thick with the star pitches. She does not want him to succeed.
She is on top. She is on top.
Okay,
I believe in Peach.
That's an RBI double play for Red Toad, which is a curious stat. He doesn't need to swing for the fences, but he will anyways, because that's who he is. And he will pay for it. Just like the Wilds earlier in the season, the Fireballs came out in the 4th to show they were only waiting for the Spitballs to make them take the game seriously. Matching them with loaded bases on 1 out, the Fireballs looked to pull away. Yep, there he is. That's the Maverick.
Mavin. Uh-oh.
Oh no. What was that? What did he just do? Actually, what was that?
Blue critter type beat.
No, what? Play-by-play. So he like goes to pick it up, then dashes at it for no reason.
Yeah,
then they throw to first instead of second, even though BP is down. I think what happened is he went to pick up the ball, then saw the POW and tried to hit the POW, but he couldn't, like, readjust his trajectory in time. They got him out, by the way. Oh, never mind. Oh, they did get him! Alright, well, they did give up 2 runs, but it could be worse, and that's definitely a deficit the Spitballs are capable of making up. Bones, wake up, bro. After all the effort it took to shut that run down, the Spitballs only had energy for 1 Boo-assisted run in response. Just like last time, we'll flash forward to the top of the 7th to reveal that, yes, we're in another 1-run game. This time, however, the trailing team would go first, needing to score at least 1 to force a bottom of the 7th. Come on, Fire Bro. Oh!
I've been a fool to
Why did he
myself.
swing at that? That's an incredible play by Peach, but why would he ever swing at that? Probably the most boring battle of the balls yet, but Murphy and the Fireballs would gladly accept another 1-run victory over their rivals. Now trailing the rookies by 1 game, the Spitballs no longer had any room for error. This next one is a special treat, and one I'll let my past self explain. Hello and welcome to Week 5, Game 4. He's just copying me. I thought it was going to be more interesting. Okay,
I was saying the same thing.
Man, shut
Anyway,
up.
did he load it incorrectly?
Oh, I
He
did! Okay.
Let's go.
It's me against Deuce, but it's like a Thursday night at like a really odd time, so no one is here. So Deuce and I are going to commentate our own game. He did not catch that.
You is him. I don't know what you're talking about.
He reached up. He reached up, bro. We started off with some fun banter, especially beginning with this clip of Petey.
Well, we're both biased, so it equals out.
Real leads the league in double plays, or he used to. He doesn't
Please
anymore.
don't you dare!
Yeah! Yeah! Don't let him.
Slam it!
That's gone. Yeah.
Bonk.
Don't say bonk,
I think-
bro. You're a
I
terrible
think my
person.
team leads the league in single-shot home runs.
Almost certainly, because DK leads the league in home runs, and most of his are single-shot homers. Yeah, what was that?
Oh no!
What was that? Over the wall, by the way.
Get there, please!
Over the wall, by the way. What was she
Come
gonna
on.
do? What was she gonna do? That said, I'm sorry, Flowers Nation. That's the end of the fun for us. The next 6 innings were an absolute beatdown, culminating in a humiliating 15-1 victory for the Wilds. Since I don't want to short Wilds fans too much, I'm filling this sentence out with as much fluff as possible in order to make space for some highlight plays from Deuce's side. Perhaps the most devastating part of this one, however, wasn't just that Deuce's team played better. Most of you have probably picked up on the fact that I'm known as having the worst luck in the league, and it reared its ugly head in this one. With that being as late as it was, and going as terribly as it did, I ended the recording without much fanfare. Selfishly and embarrassingly so, I might add, which leads me into the perfect opportunity to talk about something actually kind of serious. I won't dwell on this for too terribly long, but I think I should address something about this league. You may notice that whenever I lose badly, I tend to mash through the box scores or even skip them altogether. Other GMs may express their frustration in text or even over voice call after the game concludes. Especially with Season 4 on the horizon, you should all know this. We care about this league. A lot. Before the success, before the likes, comments, and before we had people watching. We're very grateful to see the love and support, but that was never the driving force behind this. Since this server had its first 8 members, there have been countless hours sunk into this project, often carrying through the night and into early morning hours. I know I'm not alone in saying this was kind of a low point in my life, and I imagine I can speak for all the GMs in saying that meeting together with my friends to run this league was something that helped me get through long and difficult weeks out in the real world. Though we're only simulating, this game means something to us. When I say that this is the deepest and most meaningful season in ASA history, that means multiple things. That means the culmination of storylines between characters which have felt more real to us with each passing set of games. That means unforgettable moments, climactic clashes, and the true highest point in League history. It also means, in equal proportion, a celebration of having come this far, of having put our hearts and souls into something we truly considered to be great. Here's your midweek standings update. With the Bows clinching their first ever postseason bid and the Fireballs continuing their streak, there are only 2 Sundown spots left. The Wilds are beginning to look all but settled into a top 2 seed yet again, and the Spitballs are in dire straits. Now let's finish off conference play. Hello and welcome to Game 5 of Week 5. This is the beginning of the end for our in-conference games here in Season 3. We've got the Spitballs taking on the Knights here, which ironically enough is a pretty big game for their playoff hopes. I'm joined by Deuce.
You are indeed.
We're not looking for this to be a close game, exactly, but you know.
And there it is.
The Knights have made a couple surprises so far. They're looking to continue
Still
their...
no wins though.
They're looking to continue their perfect 0-12 season after narrowly losing last game. You know, there was a lot of fright. Some of the Knights front office were scared that they were going to win a game.
God forbid.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like they'll be starting anytime soon.
What a cross-country throw from Red Critter. That was way downtown.
After that defensive opening, you might expect the Spitballs to get some work done on the other end. Despite a respectable 2-out rally though, Ritter's shot out to left was just not enough. With an equally uneventful second, it looked like the Spitballs weren't going anywhere fast.
Oh, he's not going to get it back. What? Green Mage is going to rocket a 2-shot homer. That one's gone.
Oh, good heavens.
And the Knights lead it.
Well, that's a rare sight to see. The Knights did no further damage, but dare I say it, they're in control for the first time. Now, what we have seen before is the Knights' defense turning up, which actually mattered in this one. They stifled out the Spitballs and forced a stalemate into the fourth, at which point...
No, not anymore. He's closer to 700, but still.
I thought it was still in the 8s.
No, it hasn't been in the 8s for some time. That's gonna score Greybones. Unfortunate tables, and that's gonna score. 3-0.
Nothing I say here will properly communicate how unprecedented this is, so let's just advance to the next big moment. This one came in the bottom of the 5th, when Firebro finally recognized that the upset bid was slowly becoming more of a reality. Still, with only one runner on base, he could only lower the deficit as far as 1 run. Then, something crazy happened. In a game full of firsts, we somehow managed to get something nobody ever expected or even considered. That's right. Someone pulled the fire alarm at my apartment complex.
No, he'll just get that slap. Oh, beautiful slap.
Yeah, that's right where you want it.
Okay, we are unpaused. Alright, this is a funny
We are
place to
back?
be unpaused.
Work.
For anyone watching the recording of this, someone pulled the fire alarm at my apartment building. I don't know. I'll have to. I guarantee you that was caught in the recording.
That hiccup didn't fully disrupt the Spitballs rally though, as they put another 2 on base into road.
Uh-huh.
And oh!
Oh, how did he catch that?
Athletic play by Luigi.
Knights fans, I know you probably hate me at this point for getting your hopes up so many times, but it might finally be happening. The win would have to come on the defensive side though, as Firebro and Darkbone stopped Cyber Squad from furthering their lead. One last chance for the Spitballs. A loss here and victories for the Muscles and Rookies would mean elimination.
You'll just have a shot.
Star hit is perfect here. Nope. Alright, Madge
that
makes up
won't
for
be it though.
Oh, Madge immediately makes up for the mistake by getting the double. Dark Bones! This is the game! That's gonna get down. They're gonna survive, but now it's MK Leo. That's the game. Bomb?
That is in fact the game. Bomb isn't gonna do anything, there's Chem in the outfield.
Now that the Knights have had their moment, I just want to make it clear that nobody wanted this to happen. Cyber was initially trying this season, unlike last time, but about halfway through he became more and more open to finally having the first winless season just for the bit. Here, just listen to the reaction on commentary.
And
The Knights?
just like that, the Knights have won their first game.
The Spitballs. Man, dude, that sucks.
I wanted the 0-12 season to
That
be real.
sucks. I don't think anyone is glad that they won that game.
Not even the Knights owner. The Knights owner isn't even happy about that.
Here's a repeat matchup from Rivalry Week as the Bows and Wilds were set to throw down for the 3rd time this season. The Wilds lead the series 2-0 at the moment, but with the Bows still technically in the hunt for a top 2 seed, one has to imagine they'll come out trying. It feels like a formality to have DK open up the scoring in this matchup by now, so I'll just slide this in here.
Yeah, look at the luck, bro. He got the manhole. Dude, this guy cheats. Can we ban him? I'm sick of this guy.
And now that that's done, the Wilds can safely continue to load the bases into Funky.
Good star pitch. And this one's tanked. Too high. Yeah, it's a grand slam. And the luck continues. They will round back around to the top of the lineup. I believe that means that they have 7 runs in the first inning. Yep, that's true.
Diddy Kong won one last close play to make it 8-0 in the first, and the Bows would need even more grit than usual if they wanted to grind their way back to a victory here. It just wasn't meant to be though, as the Wilds made the Bows look just as silly as they did the Flowers last time. It was beginning to seem as though even though the Wilds were already the best team in the league, their offense had hit a kind of stride we hadn't seen since Season 2. The Bows were overall quite happy with their postseason spot secured by the Spitballs' loss, but losing in that way was definitely motivation to get things sorted out before sundown. Speaking of reaching sundown, let's check in on the rookies, one of the 3 remaining teams still fighting for the last 2 spots. They'll be facing the Fireballs, who have already clinched but have a bad history with the postseason itself. To push forward a bit would be huge for Murphy's team. That didn't come out in the first though, with a pair of quick outs leading into a stolen RP homer. AJ's team, meanwhile, led off with a double from Blue Madge and an ordeal single to put runners on the corners. Bowser Jr. took the easy sac fly, and the rookies assumed the lead despite a Bowser double play. The beginning of the second didn't look a whole lot better for Murphy, but a pair of hits from Mario and BP brought the former all the way around to tie things up. With the job finished for now, it's hard to complain too much about Purple Toad's misstep ending things there. Hard to complain about that is until Madeline pushes Grey Guy out to third to set up Boomerang Bro.
With the star, and that's going to be 3 runs.
Oh! Happens.
That's why you don't take them here.
The Fireball's defense fractured at this point, allowing loaded bases into Bowser.
And we don't see a star.
This is going to be a grand slam. Oh my gosh!
What
it
are you
wasn't
talking about?
What?
That wasn't really close.
I don't have that high of resolution. It looked like it was a lot farther up.
But it will be 6-1 in favor of the rookies.
I was more just hoping.
And
it was
that's a
grand
3-run shot for Coach.
Well,
That is why you don't take the rookies to their best stadium.
This was where the rookies checked out on offense, their victory well secured if they could only hold off on defense. It started with RP, whose solo homer breathed life into the Fireball's offense. That set up for Mario, who,
Oof, beautiful hit from Mario.
Hammered.
What?
What?
I want to see this. I want to see the close-up. Did that go, like, just over the rope?
No way. That might be the lowest home run.
It went through the rope!
Wow.
It went through the rope and through the stairs.
the next scratch came from RP again, albeit the next inning. This time, his double was nearly enough to bring in 2, but Murphy followed up to clear the bases before another Red Yoshi double play. With 2 more innings to go, the lead is likewise down to 2. Throw in another 2 to represent Peach's base runners, and we'll see if the Fireballs can pull off a winning hand late in their final BFC matchup.
You'll take the charge, though. Beautiful charge. That's a tie game.
Ooh, that is exactly where you need to put
That's
it.
a tie ball game, and Peach on second base. If you love balls, you are excited right now. Ball lovers everywhere. They were down, let me remind you, they were down 1-9. This is 9 unanswered runs.
Folks, we've got a good one. With RP and Boomerang Bro digging in deep to give their respective teams the best possible chance at winning, the bottom of the 7th rolled around with one last chance for the rookies to spoil the comeback.
Balls fans are on the edge of their seats. Both kinds of Balls fans, let me remind you. Alright, this
All
at-bat is
Balls
going
enjoyers.
to... This at-bat's going to mean the game. This is so big.
Now what will Bowser do?
He will... Peach!
Oh, Peach!
That was a free double! That was a free double! Coach, what are you doing? Why is it working?
It almost worked.
No, it advanced them. They only need 1.
Yeah.
BDB will bat as well, and we know what he can do. Wait!
Was that a star hit?
Why? Peach, why? What is she doing? That's the game!
That's the game. Oh my gosh.
Peach sold harder than anyone has ever sold before there. What a nail biter. The Spitballs are all but eliminated now.
Spitballs fans watching from the hot seat, be warned. This next game means everything to you. If the Muscles win, they seize the 1 remaining spot. If the Flowers win, everything comes down to the last game of the season. Jake's squad appeared to be dialed in early, but Wig Pete struck early to ensure the Flowers wouldn't come away empty-handed. Despite a slow start, a bit of a 2-out rally gave the Muscles a chance to also put runs on the board, but Petey put his back into it on the defensive end to seal the inning. The only score in the second also came from the Flowers, who turned to Wemmer for a 1-run bomb before turning their attention back to defense. The bottom of the third presented the first real sign of the competition we were looking out for in this one, with Saitama and Yellow Mage putting 2 on base for the bane of the MRC.
Oh my goodness, and Willow absolutely tanks it out to center field. Well, I get there in time. I don't. And it's now a tie ball game.
Still, the Flowers recovered passably well for how bad of a blunder that was, putting a quick 2 on base. Link ended the streak in a double play, but Green Toad seized the lead anyway. That allowed for another brief rally, and before long, the bases were loaded into Petey.
Was looking to star pitch, just try and lessen that chance, and it is out. It is going right down to the center field. Will they be able to catch it? They will. They will.
Koopa the Quick got the best of Petey there, but the repeater got his lick back shortly after and soloed the inning. With another streak scoring one quick in the 5th, the Flowers were looking to break this one open. That 1 became 2, and 2 became 3 as the Muscles went down big again. Unlike before, there was no 3-shot homer to save Jake's team this time. A whammer dinger late in the game all but did it. More importantly, the Spitballs would survive a tad bit longer.
For the balls!
Aside from the Knights winning a game for once, the Rookies leaping up to 3rd, and the Wilds locking in the top seed, shocker, not too much has changed. Now, with all in-conference series wrapped up, it's time we see some cross-conference showdowns to determine both seeding and the identity of the final postseason qualifier. Most of these don't have much impact on the state of the league, so forgive me if I skip through just a little bit to help Sundown arrive sooner. The Fireballs and Wilds led off with a rematch of their rivalry week bout. Last time, the Wilds took it home, and this one started where they left off. As we saw in the last game, the Fireballs are often prone to slow starts, and this was perhaps an even crazier example than the last. First, it was DK stepping into loaded bases, scoring 2 off of a root shot ground rule double.
Oh no.
Bruh.
Then it was Tiny and Teal combining for 2 more. As for the third case, well...
Alright, come on, Peach. Get that guy out. Peach?
No! What? That hit the wall.
No,
That
no
hit the
shot.
That hit the wall. No, what? Huh?
I think it touched the lip. Like the very corner of where it would be counted as a home run.
And, if you can believe it, Deuce's biblical greed still wasn't satisfied.
No, they hate the Fireballs. That's probably why they're trying so hard. And this is 3 more? Might be.
Look, I don't like
Yep.
I don't like either of these teams, I'm gonna be honest. But like, come on, man.
Even though the Wilds didn't score again until the 5th, the Fireballs offense just didn't have another crazy comeback in the tank. They fell to the now 10-win Wilds yet again, finishing the season 6-6 and locking in a play-in spot. Their exact placement, though, still hinges on our other results. Spitballs fans, I apologize for the realization you may have just now. The Muscles, who had clinched the final postseason spot with a win, were set to face none other than the Cyber Knights. The same Knights, mind you, who with their first win held the Spitballs a game behind to begin with. Again, I'm sorry Spitballs fans, but it's time to root for the Knights. The first run of the game went in the Muscles' favor though, as Willow brought Saitama home in a connection between Yellow Mies. Hilariously, Red Para was the only Knight to reach base in the first, and even he still fell victim to Critter in a double play. Now with K-Rool to bat, the Muscles had another chance.
Which is a good thing if you're the Knights. Because usually you're used to everyone being more threatening than you. That's a solo shot. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Don't celebrate too early, Muscles fans, because these Knights have tasted victory now. They know what it takes, even if they learned far too late. With the help of the captain himself, they showed some of that scrappiness they were so well known for in Season 1. They didn't score again, but at least they were off of the starting line. With a ridiculously clutch double play in the third, they continued the stand too. Now for K-Rool again, who'd already gotten the best of them once.
Alright, now K-Rool, we know what he did last time. He's gonna look for another one. Take that first strike. Now remember, his contact zones are bad. Eesh! Run!
Yikes.
They have it. Yep.
Yeah.
So they do get through with no runs given up. That's a very good sign. They wrap back around to the top of their lineup now for the Knights.
It's like we've been living in another timeline since the middle of Week 5, because Red Para is on base again.
And it's a tie game.
That's it.
Now we're talking. Defense lovers, you should check the full recording of this one out when it goes up on the second channel, because we stayed locked at 2s until the top of the 7th. With one more inning for either team to break loose, the final postseason spot was a complete toss-up.
Nothing will end the game here, but a good defensive stand will give the Knights potentially the boost they need to win this one at the bottom of the 7th. This is a 2-shot home run from Saitama.
Oh!
That is... You don't get much more clutch than that. That is a 2-run homer from Saitama.
That wasn't even the death lineup.
After everything the Knights did, there's still no outs. They have to face Wario with 2 additional runs. They tried to hold on. They tried their hardest, but Saitama was not about to let it happen. This one might be over.
I'm so sorry to my Knights fans, and especially to my Spitballs fans, but I sadly tend to know ball. This one was over the second that ball left Saitama's bat, and the bottom of the 7th had no surprises in store. Jake and his squad kept their farewell tour hopes alive, escaping elimination and securing the play-in by the skin of their teeth. I'll let this next recording speak for itself.
Alright, welcome to Game 3 of our season finale for Season 3. This one, despite the music, is not exactly the happiest game that we've had this season. Not even the Bows really wanted this outcome. This is our farewell to the Spectro Spitballs for Season 3. The Cyber Knights, unfortunately, took a loss there. They were unable to achieve the victory, and as such, the Spitballs no longer have a chance of eclipsing the Muscles with a victory. Dark Bones, though, gonna start things off here with a train homer for the fans. The Bows are still playing for seeding here, so everything matters.
Even though Darkbones was the first to score, don't go thinking that's a sign of things to come in this game. It's like the Spitballs knew they weren't playing for anything anymore. The Bows absolutely steamrolled them, shooting for run differential to attain the highest seed they could. After all, why should the Spitballs care? From such high expectations to finishing the season in 7th place. Even having last season's MVP in Ritter and a strong candidate for this one's in Firebro couldn't spare them from the cold, bitter taste of defeat. Their roster, talented as it may be, would have to spend sundown kicked back on a resort in Delfino, sipping on something to distract from the disappointment during the long wait for Season 4. Earlier, I brought up the second channel. Now I seriously mean it. We don't have time to do justice to all of the insane twists in this game, so please, if you care for good ball, go catch the full recording of Finale Night. I suppose even saying that spoils that this one's an absolute roller coaster, so buckle up. You're going to feel like we're going a mile a minute, and it won't just be because I wrote it that way. Of course, I'm also writing it that way. The rookies drew first blood on a 2-run shot from Bowser. Deuce drove in the first for my squad, and Whammer quickly tied things up with a slap to right. A Madeline star hit into a Boo quickly broke that tie though, putting the rookies back up by 1. Perhaps feeling disrespected by the use of such trickery, the Flowers came out guns blazing in the 3rd, racing out to a lead first via Petey's 3-run bomb and then a base-clearing star hit of our own from Whammer. Green Toad scored 2 more, and the lead was a formidable 6 for the Flowers. 6 doesn't mean much when the rookies come out for a near instantaneous 5 though, with both Bowser and Boomerang Bro making the Flowers' defense look just as silly as their own. Madeline added 1 in the middle there somewhere, so the game was tied back into Petey. Sorry, did I say Petey? I meant Blooper.
His arm is feared for better or worse.
Alright, Blooper. Dude, come on. You're not... Wait!
It could work.
Dude!
And that is why they call him the Big Bloop.
That's why they call him Big Bloop, baby!
Whammer accounted for another, but Petey bobbled a perfect chance to hold the lead, and the rookies tied things back up at 11.
Ooh, Star threw it. Petey!
With the Flowers suffering our first empty inning since the beginning of the game, the rookies would finally have an opportunity to get ahead of the 8-ball again.
Bowser takes a strike. Don't give him that pitch, that's gone. I am questioning my team's decisions today.
At this point, our outfield is already cooked, so they had no problems putting 3 home runs in the stands for 5 runs as Bowser, BDB, and Madeline pushed forward. Finally, the 6th provided a slight respite. Of course, that only favored the rookies, who'd need only to record 3 outs before the Flowers could score 5 runs. You know based off my tone that's not happening, right?
If Daisy can load the bases, which...
That's still pretty good. She's just gonna score
She does.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, she's just gonna score one.
Nice.
That was the big hurdle. Now that Bowser is gone, there is a very real chance.
With
Wait,
this-
Coach? Hang on, what? Why is he here? It should be
knows?
Magic Koopa. What? What? And
What
now
if this
some
is
luck
back
for
on
the
his game mode?
Flowers. Wiggler's gonna be on third base. He could even go for home. Well, that's a lucky break. I'll take that. That'll do it. There's no chem out there. Well, we're doing the same thing they did to us. We're even now. Literally.
At this point, he is the heart and soul of this team, and undoubtedly the best player in this league. To get us out of that one is crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you something shocking. This is it for regulation. That's right, this one's going to extras. The 8th was silent, but the 9th saw the Flowers race out to a 4-run lead. Of course, the rookies only saw that as invitation to score 4 of their own, and Blue Mage would have a chance to end things.
Both teams have had 6 at-bats each. No way we're getting walked off on by Blue Mage. It's foul. No, it's not!
Oh my gosh.
That is
at the very
evil. That is evil. Blue Mage.
By a mere inch.
A massive explosion of offense to end the regular season. Of course, before we get to the big stuff, we have plenty of housekeeping to do. First, a rundown of our final postseason picture. For a second straight season, Cyber clocked in at an impressive 1 win. Just above him were Spectro Spitballs at a humble 4-8. Their still positive run differential proof that they gave it their all and just failed to close out a few too many times. The last team to make it in then was the Muscles, posting a middling 6-6 record as they looked to lock in for the title and see their GM off into the sunset. Directly above and sporting the same record was Mr. Murphy, leading the Fireballs in what he too was beginning to speculate might be his last season at the helm. In 4th and making their first Sundown appearance were the Bows, their success due in no small part to Y-Guy's exceptional management job. Their run, while not as urgent as the 2 teams below them, still held a lot of promise. In another first, the rookies dethroned the Fireballs as the BFC champions, just missing out on a top 2 spot due to run differential. By process of elimination, I'm sure you can reason that my Flowers were the team to get the bye, our first in franchise history despite all of our previous postseason success. Of course, first place in the regular season belonged to the reigning champion Wilds, recording the first ever 10-win season, as they look to add a second straight league title in the trophy case alongside their 3 straight regular season and MRC championships. Let's put that all to the side for a second and take a moment to appreciate the view from all the way up here. We've come a very, very long way to reach this moment, and I'm honored to have you all join me for the presentation of the Season 3 awards. Voting technically didn't close until just before the finals, but I figure it still makes sense to reveal these here since they're purely regular season awards. Just like last time, we'll lead with the LVP. He may have turned it up at the very end, but it should still come as no surprise that Red Paratroopa would have to accept this one. As for Clutch Player, this was effectively a 2-player race. You may argue that recency bias had something to do with this one, but King Boo narrowly edged out Mario for the award. Me of the Year had a surprising result, with Kareem and Deuce tying for the prize while Willow, Teal, Flenzy, and Link looked on. As for Most Improved, well, we may have forgotten it. Luckily, Deuce and I realized afterward, and came together to deem Peach a no-brainer for this one. With AJ now a GM, Wisp nearly returned to the Coach of the Year trophy, but Flame deservedly swiped it as he saw the Wilds to their incredible record. There were technically 4 nominees for Executive of the Year, but in the voters' eyes there was only really one. Y-Guy breezed past the competition, earning the respect he deserved for his turnaround. Our best moment winner this time was King Boo's walk-off grand slam over the rookies back in Rivalry Week. Yeah, if you skipped that episode, because I know a lot of you did, I bet you feel real silly right now. Go watch it and report back if you're a real one. Now for our positional awards. Outstanding Catcher went to Bowser, who finally won something other than All-Star Captainship. The 2 Infielder awards went to Petey and Britter, each the defensive anchor for a top 2 team. Outstanding Outfielder, meanwhile, went to Toadette yet again, this time outperforming Flenzy by only a handful of votes. Pitcher of the Year was just as tight of a 2-player race as last time. This go-round, Bowser claimed the award over his own son, making the first season since losing team captainship by far his most decorated in terms of accolades. Now the 4 you really care about. Just like Pitcher of the Year, Bowser yet again found himself in a 2-man race. This time though, he'd lose out on the Offensive Player of the Year award to Petey Piranha, the Flowers' very best. I may just wear out his name too, since Petey somehow dusted the competition for DPOY despite a relatively humble defensive rating.
Stats aren't everything, I guess. For the record, I voted for Green Para, who came in second. Last time there were 20 MVP votes, and the winner only received 6. To put into perspective just how wild this was, PD Piranha received 12 of this season's 15 votes, closing out a Triple Crown season in dominant fashion. Hilariously, the only of the Big Four awards which went to Peter Repeater last season was the fan favorite. This time, he'd have to settle for a second place tie with KB, as Grey Guy seized his spot atop the pyramid of public perception. Now it's time for the greatest tradition in our floating baseball kingdom. All season, we've played games in the daytime and games at night. 8 teams entered, and after over 340 innings of baseball, only 6 remain. To continue surviving, they'll have to be cutthroat. Dreams will die. Careers may well end in bitter defeat. All of this in pursuit of the glory only one champion can hold. Welcome to the middle ground, the place where seasons are ended and legends forge beneath the orange glow. Welcome to Sundown.
Welcome to Afternoon Mario Stadium yet again. Back at Sundown for Season 3. This is the beginning of the Season 3 postseason, so rather the beginning of the end of Season 3.
This time around, the play-in matchups were pure poetry. Each featured the potential end of a Big Four GM's storied career at the hands of a team which had been fighting for a share of the glory since missing the postseason entirely in Season 1. We'll begin with the Bows and Fireballs in the 4-5 matchup. This was expected to be the closer of the two matchups, so it should come as no surprise that both teams started on roughly equal footing. BP got off to a good defensive start in the second, but Boo finally got one down for Y-Guy's team.
This one might be gone. How fast is it going?
Oh my god.
2-run shot from KD.
It's gone too high.
That is huge. I think it was just that it was so fast.
way.
Look how fast this comes
Way
off the
to
bat. The exit velocity on that is
Goodness.
crazy. Oh no, this one stay fair? It's gonna stay fair.
I think so,
Back-to-back homers!
Another.
Just like that, a 3-0 lead. We've seen this one before though, and especially with the Fireballs. If you're expecting them to have no response, you might want to think twice.
Here's starred Mario.
Mario opting to
There we
charge.
go. That's gonna
Even stand
cut into
that.
the lead
Is
at
that
least. Yeah, just right over Dixie's
Yeah.
head. Charge as well. This one's crushed down to the right. That's another home run!
The Bows refused to completely collapse, stopping the streak there and maintaining at least one run over the Fireballs. With a pair of hits from Birdo and the red-hot KB putting runners on the corners, Blue Toad found little resistance in extending that one back up to 2. I haven't invoked the term fireballing too much this season, and I feel there's little better time than now to do so. It started, strangely enough, with Toadsworth, who combined with BP and the Mr. Murphy me to load things up and threaten the Bows' lead yet again.
I think Mario comes after this too. Yeah,
I don't mean to jinx anything, but like, what if?
I think it's quite likely.
Really?
Were you talking about a grand slam or a double play? Because I was talking about a double play.
I was talking about a grand slam.
Okay, yeah.
A statement defensive stand there, coming in clutch where many other teams have given in before. With another quick, empty offensive though, the Bows would need to hold yet again if they wanted to keep their lead intact into the home stretch. Instead of back-to-back homers though, Mario and BP started another streak which led to loaded bases. Peach accounted for 1 out, then Birdo unloaded the clip for a second on Toadette. Now it would come down to the legendary Woadsworth.
Birdo heard us and decided that he does indeed. Yo!
Great play
Wait,
by
that's
Toadsworth.
huge.
That was a nasty hit. Look at that angle. And I think it's Red
Goodness.
Pianta now. Yeah, they're fireballing. The Fireballs are fireballing.
It could be. Aw.
Not like that, it won't be
I guess-
though, but it will be a tie game. Flenzy, no! The Fireballs have the lead now.
For all of their defensive prowess, a couple major mistakes suddenly gave up the lead. The Fireballs had bashed their heads into the wall for just long enough to break it, and they were hungry for more.
Dixie has the higher fielding stat. We'll bobble that less often, and it's
Really?
going to be another run.
Once again,
Still, the Bows are more than capable of making up 2. Let's see what they've got in store.
ball game.
That's
like
just
that, you know?
alliteration. Like Dr. Seuss does not. Oh, you hit the wrong player.
After that tragedy, Y-Guy's squad couldn't get things together enough to score before the Fireballs did again. Murphy's squad dropped 2 in the 6th, and the Bows were beginning to fall out of this one.
I don't think they need a miracle. I think they just need to lock in. Like if Birdo crushes one here, it's suddenly a 2-run game. Now it's a big if because Birdo's not been having the best game, but that will get down. That'll get down. That's big. That's really big.
But
Boo came to play.
this is the Bows, like golden opportunity to make playoff runs.
Still some fight in Birdo and the gang. Keep in mind that this is the 7th, but play-ins are played to 9 innings, so they've got time to make up the rest should they need it. Alright, here's some noise from the Bows.
Get a lead here?
Loaded bases, a grand slam.
Alright. Okay, just making sure. We could potentially see something.
That's not gonna do it. That's gonna be caught. Oh no!
No! Never mind. Too high.
What? No, it wasn't. They just missed. It was coming down. You can clearly hear it. Listen.
Wait, yeah, what?
Right there, it's coming down. She just missed. BP finally stopped the bleeding, but whether the Fireballs had any pulse left still remained to be seen. Not much time was left to clutch up and send Murphy to the semifinals. Their first real chance to do some damage came in the bottom of the 8th, when RP drilled one out the left center. It just wasn't fast enough though, and a quick 2 outs on Murphy and Red Yoshi meant the Fireballs would have one last opportunity. First though, they'd have to hold the Bows as well as they could. That didn't start too promisingly as Blue Toad and YP both reached base. Fortunately, when Blitter tried to send one to the moon, he just didn't put enough juice on it, riding that momentum into a double play to escape with no further damage done. Now the big test. Alright, it's gonna come down to Purple Toad and Peach. The run stays alive. It's down to Peach. Wait! Mario's gonna score here. It's down to Peach. How poetic would it be? I'm not gonna finish that sentence. But how poetic would it be? You know what I'm implying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it either.
2 strikes. Boo's gonna go for the star pitch.
One double play.
Right to... That's it!
And that's it! Peach
And the
double
Bows
play.
win on a Peach double play. That is poetry. That is poetry.
God.
Not bad for a first-timer. In perhaps the most narratively satisfying way possible, the Bows finally overcame their struggles stemming from the Season 1 Monarchs, and punched a ticket to face the Wilds in the semifinals. Murphy, meanwhile, was still not fully certain of whether he'd be retiring, but this was certainly not the finish he was hoping for. It's a bit odd to say that for the first time, the Flowers won't be in a play-in game this go-round, but they would certainly still be dialed in and waiting to see which of these two they'd be playing in the next round. AJ's rookies were widely considered the stronger roster, but this Muscles team had pulled off much crazier things before, so anything was possible. Seeing as Bowser quickly loaded the bases into the titan that is Grey Guy though, things weren't looking good.
I missed that bet. Bit. What? Not bet. Oh.
Oh!
Oh my god!
That's gonna score too! What is Koopa doing? Koopa! Koopa fell asleep at the wheel! Koopa couldn't believe his eyes, dude! He was like, what?
No way.
1,000-yard stare, too!
Don't blame him.
I love Celeste.
What is Koopa doing?
Again.
He's falling asleep at the wheel. I'm not cyber.
Oh.
That's an astute
Oh.
observation.
Oh,
Oh no, Goomba! The Goom Bomb got
Okay, that one wasn't Koopa's fault.
The Muscles finally fought back with a K-Rool sack kind of fly, but that was all they mustered before Bowser Jr. and his dad rounded up 3 more scores. Critter and K-Rool made up for those 3 with 3 of their own, but they truly seemed to be the only ones trying in this game. In fact, I won't make you suffer through it, but commentary had already relaxed so much that we were doing impressions on the mic. I will show you this slice of commentary, though. Because otherwise, there would be a Yoshi... Oh, wow.
Oh!
That was gonna be a double play, too. That was gonna be a double play. Fast forward a bit, and Coach extended the lead to 8 in what was looking like a complete routing of everything Jake's team stood for. Surely, Muscles fans, it can't get worse than this. You heard it here first, folks. This is the press release.
Wow.
I want to hire
No
him as an
way, he's
assistant,
so
though.
great.
Oh my god.
Alright, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Get the plane ready for Delfino.
Dude, he's gray.
Fireballs are gonna have some friends.
Whoop, there's the other outfielder.
And the Spitballs and the Knights are already on the beach, dude. They're already waiting.
Goomba's back in the outfield.
Oh wait, they put him back! He's just on the other side now!
Oh.
Do you guys remember last inning?
No.
What inning is it? Is this like the 8th? It's the 6th!
Oh my gosh.
Jake's offense finally mustered some kind of fight for their GM's sake, but it still wasn't enough to cut into the rookies' massive lead. Indeed, the rookies claimed this one 18-7 without much resistance. With 2 of the big 4 both eliminated and possibly retired at the hands of first-time Sundown GMs, It's safe to say the new guard is here to play. Now it's just a matter of seeing if they can handle the real big guns. We'll begin with the rookies once more, this time taking on the Flowers. Last season, this is where the Bowser team met its match in the Wilds. This time though, they were looking better than ever and hoping to advance to the finals. Things certainly didn't get off to the start they were hoping for though, as the Flowers recorded a run before giving up an out. With 2 still on base, there was more work to be done.
We got PD Piranha up, a top MVP candidate, and he also decides to fireball to get Daisy in for another run scored, still with 0 outs on the table. Charge hit, swings, and it is another great hit ball into center right field as another double goes. And now we got Mossy Bones, charges but does not swing. An interesting choice there. Oh, and he is swinging for the fences, and that will be gone for a 2-shot home run for Green Dry Bones. Flowers taking an absolutely smashing lead in the first inning.
That early 5-run lead was a big difference from what AJ's team had just experienced against the Muscles. Try as they might, they couldn't seem to find a satisfying answer, only barely fighting their way back into Grandy range thanks to Bowser before the Flowers rallied for an additional 4 runs, as the MVP showed why he deserved the title. It just seemed that anything the rookies brought, the Flowers were prepared to multiply and return. Bowser did everything in his power to drag the team back within 7, but their final attempt only yielded 3 runs as the Flowers claimed Game 1. Game 2 saw the rookies opt for Nighttime Yoshi Park, hoping train shenanigans and high walls at common PD angles would help them claw their way back into this series. Facing him early with 2 runners on base would put that theory to the test.
A very heavy hitter, especially on Bowser Jr., and he sends this one deep. And I don't know if they're going to be able to catch this. They're not. It is over their head. It is over her head just barely, and they just get domed by a train as PD Piranha cruises around the bases for a quick 3-0 lead.
Bowser Jr. did ensure the stop here with a strikeout on GDB, but it was nothing doing for the rookies. Whammer made his way around to third base in the second to set up for a Green Toad sac fly, and this was looking eerily similar to the previous game. What changed from here, however, was the way the rookies responded to this adversity. Where before they focused so hard on scoring that their defense suffered, this time they were willing to play the slow game. They did take their 2 in the bottom of the second as Bowser and BDB stepped up, but the bigger highlight was the defense holding the Flowers in the third. And the fourth. This time, Bowser yet again pulled through, tying the game at 4. With another chunk of scoring complete, they turned back to their defensive game plan to guide them through the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now needing 1 run to force Game 3, AJ turned to Midnight Blue.
I feel Boomerang Bro, who's looking to end the game right now. But if you're the Flowers, you are praying that he hits it to Peter immediately. Oh, and it is deep. It is so deep. And Green Toad gets knocked out by the train. That will be a walk-off home run for Boomerang Bro. The series is now tied.
Only 1 game now stood between either team and a finals appearance. With my counterpick, I opted to go straight back to Sundown Stadium. No need to fix what isn't broken, I figured, and perhaps returning to the site of that Game 1 victory would give my team the inspiration to clutch out a return to the grand finale. In a twist of fate, though, it was still the rookies in control, loading the bases with no outs into Bowser.
Player this series. Oh, and he star hits! We really do not. Oh my god, and it's caught out! Holy!
If you thought PD didn't deserve that DPOY, think again. Instead, it was Coach and Grey Guy who rounded up the 2 runs the rookies could manage. Much better than what might have happened, and for that I had PD to thank. He didn't come through in the bottom of the inning, however, settling for a passive slap en route to a silent inning. If we wanted a shot at this thing, it would have to come before too much more time passed. Fortunately, the rookies grew a little complacent with their 2-run lead, giving me of the year deuce an opening to mail the ball deep into right. Both Whammer and Link tried to follow suit, but had their go-ahead bids snagged at the last moment. Green Toad, however...
Swing for the fences, because God knows he ain't reaching it. Why is he also swinging... You know what? I retract my statement. He made it. That's a 2-shot home run for Green Toad. I should have had faith in the guy.
After that, the rookies still couldn't seem to wake up their offense, putting Grey Guy on base only for BDB and Madeline to compromise that opportunity. In the 4th, something stirred in the Flowers. Narratives of the new guard taking control had run rampant for too long, and we weren't about to stand by and let them snatch our chain. It wasn't enough to win this one. We needed to send a message.
So that means he will not get a grand slam because he will not charge. Oh, but he does star hit! Very good play calling. Take a strike to start it. but it does in fact get past Boomerang Bro, and Gray Guy misses again.
Another 0 on the scoreboard for the rookies, and a wham slam in the 5th continued the onslaught. Bowser did as Bowser does in the 6th, bringing the one batter he could control all the way around to cut the lead to 6. Still, that was it for the stagnating rookies, and panic began to set in on their side as the bottom of the inning rolled around.
And this may or may not be a 3-shot homer from Hammer Bro. It is too high. That is a 3-shot homer from Hammer Bro.
Safe to say that was the nail in the coffin. Another 2 scored, but those were more for show than anything. The rookie surge of adrenaline started to make things look possible in the 7th, but their tailwind petered out at 4 on the inning, as Whammer stepped in at pitcher to punch the Flowers' ticket back to the finals. Another step forward for the rookies, who managed to claim the first semifinal game win in BFC history under a brand new GM. Still, as the final representative of their conference bowed out in the top 4, the Flowers would await the other of their MRC rivals at the summit of this baseball mountain. As MRC rivals, the Bows and Wilds already met 3 times during the regular season. For you Bows fans out there, I'm sure you know all too well how those went for you. Now in the semifinals, Y-Guy would look to become the first GM other than Jake to add a loss to the Wilds season, this time in their 4th attempt. The game opened how you might expect, however, with the Wilds jumping out to a 2-run lead as Britter came up big in the playoffs yet again. A Herculean effort by YP was enough to end the inning, but the Bows didn't have much of a response in the first. In fact, as battles between these teams have tended to go in recent memory, this one saw several empty innings, as those 2 runs remained the only scored into the bottom of the 5th. Now in the home stretch, and still looking for their first scratch in a proper series, the Bows were getting desperate. And that's why, tanked right out to Human, who makes no words for that one. That is a crushing mistake by Human. Bobbles into a 2-run homer. This has happened before with this exact same 2 teams, but never has it happened in an actual game. That was in a scrimmage, I believe, before Season 2. This one's tanked out to right, and this should be caught, and it... Ooh, the POW might come into play here. No, Dixie's going to stand in there and make the grab. See, because the place that the POW launched from was across the screen. If it was closer to the center like we saw in the last series, the POW might have actually done something. Dixie, what a play! What a play, Dixie! And cool Dixie stands right in the middle of explosions. She wasn't even bothered by that one. Having arrived at the bottom of the 6th, the Bows were finally greeted with a chance to jump out in front for once. You and Flenzy were both dismissed as the latter flopped a little bit, but Birdo would still have a chance. Wilds don't have more pitchers. This one's gone. No one's getting there. Not a center fielder in the league is fast enough to get under that one, and the Bows take a lead. Suddenly, the Wilds were in serious trouble. If they couldn't score in the top of the 7th, they'd take a loss in the postseason for the first time since Season 1. DK and Tiny realized the pressure, both reaching base to give their team the best chance possible. She'll slap, and it's going to be a double? Yep, double play, no triple. Tiny turned back around in time for that, but that's a great play by King Boo. The defensive core of the Bows might be the Defensive Player of the Year. Voting has not concluded yet, as that's the game! Wait, that was the top of the 7th, it was! And Birdo with an absolute dagger to claim Game 1 over the Wilds. I wasn't even paying attention to that. For Game 2, Deuce recognized that something about Sundown Stadium must have given this hungry Bows team the morale boost to flip the script. He elected to return to nighttime Wario City in hopes of reminding Birdo's squad what happened here in this matchup during the regular season. Dixie and you at least didn't seem to mind too much, the latter only barely getting caught out a second. Still, the Wilds managed to secure 2 more outs on Flenzy and Birdo to close out an empty inning, putting them in prime position to get work done. To their dismay, a quick 2 outs all but eliminated their chances at an early run. Britter trying to put 1 on the board, but is it fair? No, it's going to go foul. It just about hit the pole. His second attempt came close to aligning with a manhole cycle, but you and Dixie managed to get there fast enough to seal the deal. This time it was Boo and KB who came out with confidence, the latter actually making it to second unlike you before. Now with Slap City up to bat, it's getting dangerous for the kings of the league. It's out to right. It's going to be a sack here, but Boo's not going to go. That was a free run and they just didn't take it. Blue Toad will have a chance to strike again though. And he won't, that's a double play! That is so unfortunate, Boo needed to run! The Bows hoped they wouldn't pay for leaving runs on the board twice, but you usually don't have that kind of leeway with the Wilds. If they were worried though, it didn't show, as they continued to hold on comfortably on defense. The third and top of the fourth passed in the very same stalemate, and things were getting scarier and scarier for both sides as the end of the game marched closer and closer. Who would you expect to be the one to break free but DK?
Tanks this one up the middle, this one's gone. There we go. The first blood is drawn by Donkey Kong himself here on Wario Night. We knew what would happen the second this stadium was picked. That's what he does best.
The Bows tried to mount an offensive like the ones they did in the early game, and to reasonable success. Blitter ensured loaded bases, but the runners yet again found themselves stranded as Dixie hit into a double. With no better luck in the sixth, the Bows would have one more chance to match the Wild's run before Game 3.
And it's King Boo. Does it go foul? It does not. 1-1, baby. What are the playoffs without a bit of drama? But now all Blitter has to do is pop the ball up, and the Bows have the lead. She's stealing! What was that? Is he gonna steal again? He does! They want this! Blue Toad steals second base. Are they gonna steal again? No. He's gonna star! YP's gonna run for it. Does he make it? He does. The Bows have a lead. We're going to see the bottom of the seventh, ladies and gentlemen. The Wilds might be letting this one slip at the very end. Their season is on the line. DK, not gonna waste any time looking for the double here. Does he get it? What a play by DK. What is he doing? He had a guaranteed double play. The defensive stoppers that were the Wilds have just choked here at the end. They're going to turn a guaranteed double here as well, but they gave up one more run than they needed to, and now they have to score 2 here to keep the season alive. And even if he does opt for the banana ball, it can't save them. They gave up 1 extra run. He won't, though. This one gets down. It does. They're going to steal as well. And Diddy will steal second. All of a sudden, crush it into the gap, and we get a tie game. They're gonna bunt! Ooh, lucky there that they that it went foul. That's gonna be the That's gonna be the series. The Bows hang on and manage to eke this one out.
A disgraceful exit for the Wilds, who had truly looked to be immortal after their 5-game winning streak to end the season. In fact, since the beginning of Season 2, they'd gone a staggering 23-4, all of their losses in that span to the Muscles and nobody else. Truly, the Bows had shattered expectations in their first ever postseason appearance. Now only one question remains. Can they dethrone the final Big Four team remaining? Or will the Flowers defend the honor of the league's elite? First though, I want to thank you all for making this series as special as it's been. I briefly mentioned in another video that Season 1 was my final attempt at making this whole YouTube thing work, and every day I wake up feeling lucky for being given this chance. To the ball knowers, my channel membership owners now 26 strong, I can't thank you enough for the support you show me. And again, to all of you, everyone who's watched, liked, commented, and shared the joy of this game with your friends, I'm grateful for your patronage. I hope to see you all in our livestream chat when ASA Season 4 kicks off in the near future. For now though, there's one last matter of business to attend to, namely 1 series to 3 wins between the 2nd and 4th seeds. See you at sundown.
Hello and welcome to the Season 3 Finals. You might be wondering why I'm commentating. It's because we're starting a new tradition. I got Y-Guy on the mic too. We're going to commentate specifically Game 1, so that as things get a little bit more intense, you know, we aren't on the mic, but we can talk about our seasons, you know, that sort of thing. So Y-Guy is here.
PD made me look a little silly early on here.
Well, you should keep doing You should keep doing that.
But at least Whammer clutched up to keep the Bows quiet in the beginning. Blitter returned the favor on the other side, and this was looking much more like the Bows semifinal series than my own, perhaps due to the surprisingly relaxed tone of this first game. Indeed, despite the high stakes, both GMs were fairly relaxed, each of us prepared to accept either outcome. It was YP who finally upped the ante though, bidding the ball farewell and bursting off the starting line for a 1-0 lead, the first in this final series. That was it for a while though. It took until the 5th for another run to score, as Birdo finally left her mark on this one. That opened the floodgates for each team to add another quick score, and we were sitting at 3-1 going into the 6th. Here, the Bows tacked on 2 more to establish a Grand Slam lead, and the Flowers still had no response to give. The Bows took that invitation to break this one wide open in the top of the 7th, making some of the league's finest look like batting practice, as they dropped a staggering 11 runs before clocking out. I was still having a good time bantering on commentary, but the pressure was slowly starting to feel more real. Had I taken the Bows too lightly? Sure, they swept our regular season series, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited when they handled the Wilds for me. Even as Whammer gave Birdo one to think on before Game 2, a 16-4 loss made everything feel very real. Could the Bows really do it? My solution was to retreat to Nighttime Cruiser, a stadium which was synonymous with the league in Season 1 but had slowly been falling out of favor ever since. I, for one, tend to avoid such a pick, preferring to go where I feel the winning team has to truly earn the runs they score. After losing by 12 though, an undeserved victory sounded kinda nice. Just as a precaution though, I did start GDB at pitcher so I could have our first 3 on the mound all scripted. The Bows had no intention of lying down and letting us have our way though, continuing to keep PD from doing anything in this final series. In fact, come top of the third, neither team had managed to do much of anything at all. When you need a hand in the finals though, there's one flower you can always count on.
Yeah, very interesting call from him. Oh, and that is sent out deep. Will it be caught or not? It might be too high. It is gone. It was too fast.
Whammer gets the flowers on the board.
And for the first time in this series, the Flowers have the lead.
And with another quick stop out of the way, there's a second who's about due.
PD up to bat. No Wiggler to be seen because they got out last inning.
No, but that's a quick homer.
Doesn't stop PD from charging.
That is what we call a piss missile swamp donkey right there.
Birdo, realizing it was about time to lock in, opted to hurl star pitches at the Flowers' next few to ensure a couple strikeouts. That piece lasted until about the 6th, when the Bows finally put a pair in scoring position.
She doesn't deserve it. Also, Greenbone just still not tired. I would like. Oh, what is happening?
No!
There was a base running error, and then there was a fielding error on top of that.
After a second mistake on defense, the Bows had loaded bases into U. Things were suddenly looking quite scary.
Because Blue Dritter played it safe.
We need, and I mean need, to see a double play here.
And now you have
You!
This is what they did last time, and it will be a double play to end the inning.
With that save providing the spark the Flowers needed, this one was never in doubt again. GDB got his one, Daisy scored Whammer, and PD did his thing one more time to leap out to a 7-run lead in the 7th inning. Also, remember what I said about GDB being purely a tactical decision to save our good pitchers for later? How's a full game win in the finals for filler pitching? I can't lie, that win felt amazing, especially since it proved we could beat the Bows after all. Now it'd be off to Y-Guy's counterpick for Game 3. This pivotal swing game started off 1-1 behind a deuce RBI and Birdo solo shot, but the top of the 4th quickly proved fatal for the Bows. Nighttime Yoshi Park worked for AJ, but the Bows would have to sit and watch as PD, GDB, Link, Green, Toad, Daisy, and PD again all pitched in to pull off an 8-run explosion of an inning. The 5th opened up with a wham slam into yet another PD dinger, and this one was well beyond over. One more absolute nuke from Hammer Row put the Flowers at that same magic number of 16 that the Bows reached in Game 1, and Y-Guy's team found themselves staring down their first series deficit in their young playoff history. To win from this position, the Bows would need to do what they did in the regular season and win 2 straight over the Flowers. With the way Hammerbro and PD were looking though, that'd be easier said than done. For what could be the final game of Season 3, Y-Guy opted for Daytime Wario City, betting it all on his team's ability to take advantage of what they had learned about the stadium from their bounce with the Wilds. PD had a chance early, but just couldn't get the right angle on it. The Bows, considering themselves lucky to escape, put their 2 pink me's on the corners to give Birdo a chance.
Well, we always have Birdo.
Right.
As that is a very good hit, well hit ball to lead runners on corners and scoring their first run of the game.
Former Flower star Boo was the one to crack against his previous allies, hitting into a double to end the inning at 1. Still, a slight lead is a lead, and the Bows would take anything to help avoid losing out on this championship. Not to mention the first team to score had won every game thus far. As much as it pains me to say, my Flowers gave the audience no reason to doubt that trend would continue either, struggling to keep up the same fire they had before, just like back in the Season 2 semifinals. Also, like back then, GDB was the only one to do anything, at least putting us on the board before our cutesy little late game run ended at 10-5 Bows. Now, as cool as the Wild celebratory sweep in Season 2 was, this is what I'm talking about. A 5th game of the finals, in which the winner will claim it all. The last bastion of the old guard facing off against the fresh-faced 4th seed, the very same spot the Flowers won from all the way back in Season 1. Welcome to Bowser Castle, the stadium where neither team will leave until the ASA crowns its new champions. The Bows began by putting Flenzy on second, but they just didn't have anything left in the tank to bring her home. The Flowers, meanwhile, mustered the beginnings of a 2-out rally behind the classic Wig-Pete combo. Perhaps due to knowing this kind of must-win environment well, Blooper was ready to deliver the slap hit we needed to take the first lead in the final game of the season. If the pattern held true, it was looking like the Flowers might be on our way to reclaiming the title. With 2 additional RBI singles from Deuce and GDB, things were really starting to look good. It's this kind of situation which determines if you've got what it takes to win. When everything seems to be going the opponent's way and you find your backs against the wall, there's nothing a true competitive team dreams of more than that. The Bows stormed back to load the bases, scoring 1 and putting a sac fly out to the middle for another. Not back to even, but at least the Bows are here to play. Petey did his thing in the third to add 1 more to the lead, and the Flowers weren't shying away either. Unlike the first 2 seasons, both teams absolutely refused to lay down and die in a closeout game. We were in for a treat.
There you
Indeed.
go. Oh, and will
Bases
King
are
Boo make it
loaded.
home?
Come
Is he
on.
fast enough? And he is. I didn't think he was going to make it, but he just got there. But now you got Blitter. Oh, and that is not good for Blitter as it leads to the double play. Some people might be wondering if Blitter could actually be kept on this team next season, because he has been slightly disappointing. Oh, and the boo mattered! It is a tie game, folks. I don't know how in the world that wasn't caught. They got
We got
Flenzy up.
Flenzy
A fan-
looking to boost anything.
An absolute fan favorite among the teams. And Dixie's gonna get in from the item.
Now fully recovered from their early deficit, the Bows just needed to hold on. They did a good job of it for a while too, hanging on into the final hour. Only the last 3 outs now stood between the Bows and a title, though 2 scores would win it for the Flowers.
And you do have PD up. Oh, and
PD
that's hit deep.
Oh,
That is the one that will tie the game. The game is tied. And just like that, the Flowers immediately have a sense of life. They have the chance to walk off right now. That's the Daily Deuce double right there, buddy. And now you got God Bones. If he walks this off, he's obviously winning MVP.
Surely.
Oh no, but not the double play! We're going into extras, folks. We are going into extras.
Extras in Game 5 of the finals. I should be mad at GDB for not coming through, and honestly, I probably was at the time. Now, though, I can see it clearly. There was no other way things could have ended between these two.
The bananas! She is more of a liability than a help right now. But you know what? They'll oh no! He starred!
PD no.
No!
For those of you who doubt the bottom 1 luck agenda, remember that play. The YP pop fly, which would have ended the inning if we turned that double, was instead only 1 out, and Blue Toad had no problem loading the bases.
For who? For
Blue Critter.
Oh no, y'all.
He's trying to put himself in. The record's broken. Oh, he hits again. That'll get down. That's gonna score 2 runs. Glitter might have just ended this game if the Flowers are unable to match that power.
Still, either team could come out on top here. It's a matter of who wants it more. Hammer Bro was undoubtedly swinging through angry tears in the bottom of the 8th, desperately trying to get his lick back for the tragedy that was our top of the 8th. Calm, cool, and collected though, the Bows simply fielded his hit. With 2 more outs to work with, Link rolled one up the middle. It was highly likely that this Daisy at-bat would decide the game.
Okay, now we have Daisy. Daisy launches that goes
Out
foul,
there.
right? Yeah.
It will be foul. If that was
Daisy's got
hooked just a
spirit.
bit more right, that would have been it.
Certainly.
Off he charges. Oh no, and the YP double play to end the game!
That's the
And
series.
just like that, from 0 to hero, they've made it.
It's just as Deuce said. From their desperate attempt to salvage their Season 1 Monarchs run to just bottoming out in unremarkable fashion in Season 2, Y-Guy and his Bows had seen their fair share of heartache. I can't even pretend I was angry either. I was honored to be the final hurdle he overcame to rise from the bottom to the top. The Flowers, after all, did the very same in Season 1. With the 3rd season of the Akaland Slugging Association finally coming to a close, I hope you all see why I praise it as the greatest we've ever had. Season 1 will always be charming just for being the way it all began. Season 2 will always be the Wild's time to shine and the first time things started to feel like tradition. Season 3, I don't even know where to begin. First, there are the Knights, who unlike the Eggs in Season 2 were truly trying to win games. The council of GMs may have been rooting on their downfall, but even that wasn't enough to stop them from getting their one. The Spitballs, despite their overall depressing end to the season, still got to enjoy the feeling of being a top seed and having yet another MVP frontrunner, even if both were only for a moment. The Muscles may not have won Jake the ring he always wanted, but at least they were able to see him off at sundown. The Fireballs got to sit back and relax as they passed the BFC torch, much like how Murphy himself would officially be stepping down as GM and letting a new face fill the role. As for the Rookies, they took yet another step forward toward proving the BFC was not to be trifled with. After a record-setting season, the Wilds experienced both the pain of losing to their bitter rivals, but also the pride of seeing them finally put the same hurting on the rest of the league. My Flowers, of course, didn't achieve the result we wanted. Still, this was PD's year to be great, and we showed the entire league that the old heads still have a place in all this. Now the Bows, well, what's left to be said at this point? A year and a half have passed since Season 3 ended. In real life, that is. Forgive me if I wax poetic now, but when this league started, I was just looking for ways to spend time and keep up with my old friends in the first year of college. I'm now in my final year of my bachelor's degree, and we have thousands of people just like you tuning in to watch our silly little baseball league. I've spent hundreds of hours working on this series, and it's surreal to see it finally completed. So, like I just said, forgive me if I get a little bit emotional, because I'm gonna miss the Big Four. I really am. This era of the ASA is something special to me, and I hope I've been able to convey that to you. For one final time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you live both for our next draft and opening night before the month ends. Goodbye, good night, and congratulations to the Bows.